Sit back, relax, and take a virtual ride with me. You'll see interesting places you probably haven't seen. I hope you enjoy the ride and discover new places with me. Sit back, relax, and take a virtual ride with me.
Oh, sports fans. Ben from Ben's Hangups. Well, I hope you had a good week. I'm winding this one up with a little day trip back to a place where I've certainly been at least 2 other times, and I'm going back for a 3rd time. Taking you with me? See something we haven't seen before. Other than that, sport fan news, check out the website. Got a new website. I mean, we'll do some fine tuning to that thing, but it's up and running. It's simply benshangups.com. There you go. So check it out. You can check me out on Facebook too, Ben's Hangups. And let me know what you think. You can contact me on that. You can make contact with me and I'll answer. So anyway, sports fans, that's all the news from Ben's Hangups. And as always, I hope you enjoyed the trip, and I'll see you down the road. Well, if you haven't guessed, you soon will. I'm back in Muskegon, Michigan. It's the 2nd time this year. Matter of fact, it was just a few weeks ago I was up here. Seen the Silver Side and also Coast Guard Cutter. Well, we're back. Oh, I was here, by the way, a year ago. Yeah, here to see the LST. Yep. Well, today is a little different. I guess you could say the Milwaukee Clipper. Another historical monument that we're going to see right back here. This road isn't any better, of course, but now I want you to take a good look at this gate. This is a gateway to get back to the Milwaukee Clipper. See this gateway? Right here. Now you keep that in mind. Remember that gate. All right. Oh, this is one of the bays here in Lake Michigan. And there you see it back there. That's it. That's the Clipper. Kind of breezy today. Well, this is a beautiful spot. Of course, this is a boating community. There's a lot of boating goes on around here. So where's old Ben at today, you say? Well, let me tell you. I'm back in Muskegon, Michigan. That's right. I'm here at some boat docks. And I'm here to see the Milwaukee Clipper, which I'll show you in a minute. And we are right here on the bay, and it's a little breezy today. That's the Clipper back there. And there's a lot going on here. Anyway, I can get my other camera out. And we're going to take a look around here. Hang in there. Now the Clipper, she was built in 1905. rebuilt, or remodeled and rebuilt, I guess you might say, in 1940. And in 1989 was declared a historical landmark. Now, ain't that pretty? Always a nice sight. Milwaukee Clipper, as I said, was launched in 1904 in Cleveland, Ohio, at the American Shipbuilding Company. She was originally called the Janita. Now, I probably pronounced that wrong. This is the where you pay your entry fee and get your guide. This is a guided tour, by the way. It's $12. You get a guide that takes you through. And they go on an hour every hour. This is model ship room. This guy that built these ships did a hell of a job on these ships. That's worth some time just to stop in there and watch that. This ship is 361 feet long. She's 45 feet beam to beam, a depth of 22 feet, with a gross tonnage of 4,333 tons. Whoa, she carried 350 passengers in staterooms. At about 18 knots she went. Not too bad. In 1915, that year, the Anti-Monopoly Panama Canal Act took effect, which forbid railroads to own steamships. And that went into effect. Now, as you can see, this is a lounge area. Notice the feet on all the chairs and everything. Yeah, that's so they don't slide around. Now, these decks are not level decks because of the size of the shape of the ship. They are kind of slanted. Well, that makes it a little bit difficult, but they get around. This is a dining area. And they used to cook some pretty good meals here. If you look over there, there's a dumbwaiter over there. This is the engines, which do not work anymore. I believe there were 3 of them. See these dining areas? This is the entranceway. This is where you would have come in. Your suitcases would be put down there, and they'd take them to your stateroom for you. Some of the furniture you see was actually designed by Lloyd Wright, the architect. This is interesting. This is a ship-to-shore telephone. So I understand that they had lines of people wanting to call on that phone because, well, back in those days, everybody had a party line. So when you got a call from somebody on board a ship, wow, everybody in the neighborhood knew it. Now I should note that this is the modernized 1940s, the way the ship would have looked. Of course, a lot shinier. Everything was brand new, spanking new, modern. It included a dance floor, theater, movie theater, yeah, live band, soda fountains, cafeteria, lounges, sports deck. Wow, how about that? And it carried 120 automobiles on top of it. All right, this is one of the cabins, and that, folks, is a toilet. The lid above it, you pull it down, you got a sink. You got a double bed here in the bottom and a single bed up on the top. What more could you ask for? These are berths. Daytime, you've got seating here, and at nighttime, they pull it down. You got a bed on top and one on the bottom. That button, by the way, will get you that. That young lady will come by, say what you need, and she'll get it for you. This is a forward lounge. Cost you an extra, I think it was 15 or 35 cents to stay up there during the voyage. Not bad. And you see where your view is? Right out the front, right to the bow. Now, the Milwaukee carried about 5,500 U.S. gallons of fuel. Not bad for that. Had a crew, well, that could be 105 with 100 to 109, with around 55 of them as stewards to take care of the passengers. There'd be about 900 passengers. Here's some more steps. This is an interesting one here. I believe this was the head engineer. He came on board and there was no place to stay. They eventually made this for him. But in the meantime, till they got this made, he had to sleep with other guys, and what he did was each one had a shift. He just moved from this one to that one to that one. Different bunks. Not bad. Well, this is the bridge, of course. That steering wheel there, or wheel, is interesting because the original was stolen. How do you get it out of here? How do you steal something and get it off the ship? I don't know. Anyway, this is it. This is the bridge. You got all kinds of radio equipment here. You got, yes, you had radar. You got your compasses, of course. What you need to navigate and run this ship. Now, let me tell you a little bit about that captain. I believe his name was Hoxie, Hoxie. And when he started as a lad, he just first time he was on board, he got the dirty job. That dirty job was, of course, cleaning that spittoon every day. Swore he'd never do that again once he was promoted. Finally made captain. Once he made captain, everything about smoking went off the ship. No smoking. That's a diesel there. Exhaust from the engines there. Anyway, this is the inside. It's kind of like a bar room, but this was a dance floor. And boy, is it nice. They have totally refinished this. It is beautiful. Now I want you to notice the ceilings here. Yeah, there's beams across there, but there's more to it than that. Oh, and these are all original, by the way. You're going to see some, oh, look at that knitted thing around that post. A sailor did that. Took him a week. They gave him the job to do that in a week, and he did. We think, or they think, that was used in case somebody stumbled, maybe from the bar, and would bump into that thing. Well, it's a good story. We'll see. We don't know for sure. Some say there were bar stools around there, that bar, and some say they weren't. I think it was a little bit of both. This used to be at one time, this was the gambling room. This is where they had the slot machines. Well, that ended, and they put in a soda fountain, and it did very well. Well, why wouldn't it? Look at here. Well, you can tell this is officers' quarters, can't you? You betcha. And this is the theater. How about that? Now, the Coast Guard had a problem with this theater, but it wasn't what you think. You see those arms? They're made of wood. The Coast Guard didn't want any wood aboard. They had to get special permission to do that. Now, I don't know if this desk was aboard or not, because it's wood. What you see on the walls painted, part of that is from the originals. They had to go back into the wall to find some of that. This was the playroom, just outside the theater. There was only a curtain that divided this room from the theater. This is where the kids would be. And they had a little area outside they could go to.
Car storage when they were ferried.
Well, that's the Milwaukee Clipper. And it was a guided tour, so I had to be careful. I didn't want to include the guide without the guide's permission. But very informative, very interesting, very interesting. Anytime you go through one of these old ships, it's very interesting. And this one was no different. So let me know what you think. And as always, I'm going to be getting out of here, but I'll see you guys down. Now, as I told you on the way in, look at that gate. Well, look at that gate now. Seems this big truck with this big piece of machinery it's hauling came all the way from, I believe, Texas with this thing. And now they can't get through the gate. They're kind of stuck, which means I'm stuck. I can't get out. Now, I want to tell you, this is big. They had a truck runs in front of this, oversized load, and they had a truck behind it, of course, oversized looking. Look at all these trailers. This is a piece of machinery, I'm telling you. Even to carry this piece of machinery is a piece of machinery. Look how wide that is. That is a monster. And that truck's a monster. Well, they have gotten through, as you can see here. What they're doing now is they're lowering or raising the trailers back up. Each one of these trailers has its own air compressor. I'm telling you, that's big. And that came a long way. $500,000 to $2 million, or $1 million at least. Well, I'm going to tell you, folks, if you go to there to see the Milwaukee, take the tour. The young lady that did the tour was great, and I'm sure they're all great. They give you stories, unbelievable stories about that ship, and give you an idea what it really was about at the time and how glamorous it really was. But it's a museum now. I suggest you take a look if you're up that way. You got 3 ships up there to look at. Actually, you got 4. 4 ships you can look at. And on this one, you can take the guided tour. Only $12, folks. Not bad. Now, take a look at my website. I need some people to look at that website so it gets a better view. As always, folks, subscribe to the channel. Helps me out. And I'll see you down the road.
Relax, you got the whole wide world to see. Great destinations and friendly people for seas, shining sea. I hope you enjoy the ride and discover new places with me. Come on back and relax and take another ride with me. Thanks for running along with me. Sit back, relax, and take a virtual ride with me. You'll see an interesting places you probably haven't seen. I hope you enjoy the ride and discover new places with me. Sit back, relax, and take a virtual ride with me. There's a beautiful country out there to see. Relax in your seat and turn on your TV. Sights and sounds will fill your video screen. Historic sites features just some scenery. Small town parks and festivities. No high price gas or anxiety. All of this from me to you I'll share. And you won't even have to leave your comfy armchair. You got the whole wide world to see. Great destinations and friendly people for seas, shining sea. I hope you enjoy the ride and discover new places with me. Come on back and relax.